Ooh, wow, that's good coffee. I'm filming on the ground in my bonus room, and it's probably not the best thing for my back. I just had surgery 3 weeks ago, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how it goes. I feel very peaceful in here. I have a bunch of plants and crystals in front of me, and a blue sky out the window and sun shining. So excited to talk about manifesting and the law of attraction. So the law of attraction has to do with energy, and if you think back to science when you were in school, in high school, we were taught everything is matter, right? And all matter is made of atoms. But everything is essentially energy. We all see that like particles that make up matter are always moving and moving at different frequencies, right? And just because we can't see things moving doesn't mean that they're not moving. So just because we can't see energy and frequency or hear them necessarily doesn't mean they're not real. So take, for example, a dog whistle. It's such a high pitch, or the pitch is at a frequency that the human ear can't hear, but doesn't mean dogs don't hear it. Dogs can hear it. So just because you can't see or hear something or feel it doesn't mean it's not there. Everything is energy, and I think a lot of us just don't think that way. So whenever we hear like, oh, this is good energy or this is bad energy, a lot of people kind of stigmatize that. Oh, they're into that kind of stuff. But I think it is becoming more and more talked about, and a lot more people nowadays are educating themselves on it. And I think deep down we feel energy, right? Like you say, like the energy in a room, you walk into a room and you can feel the tension if there's tension, or even if you meet someone new and you guys hit it off and you feel happier and lighter with them and a better you, that's because they're giving off good energy and you're feeling that good energy. But when it comes to the law of attraction, what you are thinking and saying and believing, that gets put into energy, and it's going to affect not only your body and your cells on the inside, but it's going to radiate outside of you as well, and people around you are going to feel it, like I was just talking about, and it's just going to go out into the world in general, into the universe. For example, like you look at people, unhappy people or depressed people, often their thoughts are very negative, right? And very self-defeating, very sad thoughts, very angry thoughts, depressing thoughts. So they're putting that into their bodies, so they're more likely to feel not good. They're not going to feel full of energy, and they're not going to feel light and happy and good to go. They're going to feel tired, low energy. They're going to have uncomfortable physical sensations. They may be more susceptible to illnesses or getting sick. That's because they're putting that energy within their bodies, just the same as that energy is going outside of them as well. You see oftentimes people that are unhappy and depressed or angry people, like what they're thinking and believing and putting out, that stuff all keeps happening to them. You know, that's essentially what you're manifesting, and that's why manifestation and the law of attraction go hand in hand, is because the energy that you put out is what you're going to manifest. I think a lot of us do it subconsciously. We're not even really aware of it, and that's why becoming mindful of our thoughts and what goes on automatically in our thoughts and observing them and recognizing them is so important. I do have a couple of videos on managing your thoughts, part 1 and part 2. Say you're trying to manifest something and you're like, I want to manifest that I'm going to get $10,000 by the end of this year. You set that intention, you put it out to the universe, you let go of it, believing, yeah, I'm going to get $10,000 by the end of the year. But then throughout the year, you're, oh, I don't want to work, and oh, like, I work so hard and I don't even make that much money, and oh, I'm broke again, or oh, I'm going into more debt, or here I have to use my credit card again, or oh, like, that person has so much money, I wish I had that much money. And constantly having these thoughts, that's coming from a belief that you don't attract money, you struggle financially. So that's actually what you're putting out. That's what you're releasing into the universe. Step in manifesting something is you have to pick what you want to manifest, and then you have to say that you are going to get it by a certain time or sooner, because the universe works in mysterious ways, and we'll bring it to us sooner in a way that you could never even imagine. Essentially, we only have so much power in our lives. We can only control so much. So letting go of the idea that we can control or try to figure out how it's going to happen, that's not going to help you manifest. Manifesting is about having faith. If you're doubting, if you're worrying, if you're overthinking, or you're trying to control it, that's fear-based. And you have to like fully believe it to your core. Whatever higher power you believe in, or the universe or whatever, say it to them, say it to the universe, and say like, I believe this is going to happen. This is going to happen for me. And you put it out there. And a girl I watch on YouTube actually had said this once. That was such a good example. If you're wondering like, well, how do I believe it? How do I have faith in it? This is the example she gave, and I love it. So I'm going to share it on my channel too. I hope she doesn't mind. Say when you go to a coffee shop and you order a coffee, once you put in your order and you're waiting, say at Starbucks, because I love Starbucks, and do you go and do you stand there and try to figure out how exactly they're making your coffee, and you know, doubting, oh, will I actually get the coffee that I want, or maybe I won't ever get my coffee? And we don't do that usually. You might do that, but usually you put in your coffee order, you go and you wait, and that's it. You don't think twice about it again until they're like, okay, Kaylee, here's your coffee, and then it's like, cool, thanks. You put in an order, and that's it. You just believe that your coffee's coming. So that's kind of the same with manifesting. You put your order into the universe, and then you let it go, and you just wait, and you just trust and know that it's coming to you. You don't try to figure out how it's made or how it's going to happen, or doubt that it's going to happen. It's just like putting in your coffee at a coffee shop. But then also, like, you can't just say like, oh, I want to manifest working for myself. And then you just, okay, yep, trust in the universe. I'm gonna work for myself, and then not taking any steps. Yes, believe it's gonna happen. Work on your thoughts every day toward it, and you know, use the law of attraction to keep believing it, keep putting it out to the universe that it's gonna happen. Yes, you also have to take some steps too. You know, you can't just sit back and like, I'm gonna work for myself magically, but I'm not gonna do anything. So my example of manifestation and the law of attraction. I've mentioned in my other videos that I recently suffered an injury of my spine. I had herniated discs, one really, really bad one, and I ended up needing to go off work on disability. I ended up in severe, excruciating chronic pain. Like, I'm talking the worst pain I've ever felt, worst pain than I ever could have imagined could be real. I couldn't sit. I would stand from the moment I got up till the moment I went to bed. Anyways, we're not talking about that part of it, but I just want to give you a little bit example of like how awful this time was for me. So I got referred to the neurosurgeon, and essentially I was just kind of waiting, trying to still live life and not go into a deep dark hole until I got surgery, which would have been very easy to do. There were really hard days, and I journal every day. So when I looked back on some of them, I saw like, wow, I had some really hard days that I kind of forgot about. But there were days where I was just angry. It was very easy. I could have stayed there. I could have stayed in those thoughts, stayed in those feelings, and just been a depressed, angry, miserable person. I just want to reiterate, like, as humans, it's important not to fight those thoughts or feelings, which can be a bit confusing. I did allow myself to be angry sometimes, or to be upset, be sad, but I only did it until, you know, I'd have a good cry, and then, okay, I had my cry, I had my time of being angry, I had my time of feeling sorry for myself. Now I need to pick myself up, and what can I do now to make myself feel good? You want to let yourself feel those emotions, because yeah, they kind of suck, they're uncomfortable, but they're emotions, and as humans we have emotions, good and bad, and it's okay to feel them. And validating, like, yeah, okay, I'm really angry right now, and that's okay. I'm gonna cry right now, or I'm gonna scream into my pillow, or whatever. If I would have let myself stay there and always thought that way and played victim and been angry and had all these negative thoughts and feelings, that would have kept being put out to the universe, and I probably would have had to wait a really long time to get my surgery, and I probably would still be in pain right now. But instead, because I believe in the law of attraction and manifestation, okay, what can I control? Okay, so I slowly figured out that when I had hot showers, that would help relax my muscles, so I wouldn't have like these really, I call them nerve spasms. So I had like 3, sometimes 4 showers a day. And our water bill probably wasn't the greatest, but I did that, and I learned that walking actually was really, really helpful for the pain. So I walked every day. I just tried to be grateful. Thank you so much for taking away some of this pain while I walk. Like, thank you, body. And, you know, getting out in the fresh air and the sunshine, I try to, you know, just be grateful for the sunshine and still be happy. I was like choosing to think like, wow, I'm so grateful that I can still walk, and that walking helps me feel better. I was always trying to spend majority of my time radiating positive energy and love and faith and trust in the universe that everything was going to be okay, even if it was hard to see in the moment. I decided, okay, I'm going to manifest getting my surgery because I felt really hopeless. How did it even happen? I think I was listening to a podcast on manifestation and about letting go and surrendering, and I was getting all these signs from the universe to just surrender. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And that's essentially kind of what manifesting is you're surrendering control and fear, and you're just having faith. At the time, February 11th, I was like, I want my surgery by March 1st or sooner, because I know there's going to be recovery time. I didn't want to be in pain for my birthday. But yeah, so that's what I wrote. I'm going to get my surgery by March 1st or sooner. And at this point, February 11th, that's less than 3 weeks away. And at this point, I hadn't even heard from my surgeon. Which first you usually like get a consult, and then from there, then they book your surgery. And sometimes it's months. So here I am, just, you know, most people would be like, that's so unrealistic. But I was like, no, I'm believing that this is going to happen. So I said, I'm getting my surgery by March 1st or sooner. And I just believed it with all of my core. I focused all of my energy on that statement. Go universe, this is what I want to manifest. Put my order in at the coffee shop. And I remember I told my friend that same day we were on a walk, and at the time she was really supportive. She was like, oh yeah, like, wow, March 1st, hey, like, that's awesome. She later told me that even herself in her head, she was like, what? Like, that's so unrealistic. That's like tomorrow. But she never said that to me. She told me after, which I thought was hilarious. But thank the universe. You thank it as if it's already happened, as if it's already coming. So I'd say thank you so much for making my surgery happen by March 1st or sooner. Thank you so much for healing me and helping me get better soon. And I would keep affirming, and affirmations are really huge, I think, too, with the law of attraction, because what you're affirming is what you're, you know, attracting, right? So I would say, I'm healing and I'm getting my surgery soon. And I would say, thank you so much. And yeah, there was that little voice in my head sometimes, the ego, the fear, that would be like, yeah, right, are you sure? And I just have to say, nope, yeah, it's happening. Just have to really meditate a lot and stay in touch with my spirit and my soul. You know, every so often in my journal entries, you could see like, yep, I can't wait. My miracle is coming. I can feel it. I actually wrote that. And I just kept telling myself, and the more you tell yourself something, the more you start to believe it and feel it. And February 25th, I was on my daily walk doing the same thing I did every single day. And I was on my walk, I was listening to my podcast, and actually at the time I was manifesting and visualizing my YouTube channel. It was really cool actually. But anyways, I think I was listening to like healing music. I was doing that as well, like healing frequencies. just to sending healing energy to my spine and out to the universe, putting it in my body that I was gonna heal. And I was almost home. My boyfriend was making dinner for us, and it was kind of a busier road by our house in our neighborhood, and I was at the crosswalk and all these cars were stopped for me to let me cross. And the road didn't look that slippery. But I still, you know, I slowly went across, listening to my peaceful music, everything's normal, everything's great, and then bam, next thing I know, I'm slipping, I'm in midair, and I fall hard onto my, like, left hip, lower back area, and I'm just laying there on my left side. And my left side was my bad side. I need to add that in. That's the side I felt most of my pain. And it was just, I was laying there in shock and just this excruciating pain radiating through my body, and I was scared to move. Anyways, all these people came out. Long story short, an ambulance was called, even though I was like, no, I'm fine, and just in shock, right? I was a mess. I was crying. I was scared, and in the worst pain I've ever felt. Like, I thought I had been bad up until that, but I didn't know what was gonna happen. But I went to the ER at my local hospital, and they did an x-ray. The x-ray didn't show anything was broken or anything, so my doctor was like, yeah, you know, I think we don't see anything broken. Like, I'm just gonna discharge you, and I want you to start going to physio and doing all these things. And I could have chose to be like, okay, yeah, doctors know best, I'm gonna just go home. But instead there was this part of me that was like, no, I need to, like, stand up for myself, and I need to voice my needs, because that's something that I've learned to do. And I said, like, no, doctor, you don't understand. I can't go to physio. I can't do this. Like, I haven't left my house in almost 2 months. I can't sit. I stand every day for 12 plus hours. Like, my herniated discs are really, really bad. Like, and, you know, and then he saw me screaming and in pain. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna look at your MRI that I had done previously. And anyways, I ended up staying a night in the hospital, getting another MRI done. And up until this point, I was still kind of just like, I don't really know, like, he told me, he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do for you. What ended up happening was I developed a condition where, I forget what it's called. But anyways, essentially, when a herniated disc is so bad and it starts compressing and wrapping around your nerves so bad, it will affect the nerves going to your bowels and your bladder. And so what was happening was I was starting to lose feeling of my bladder. And then a nurse came in and was like, I need your weight, I need to weigh you. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Why? Doctor walked into my room and he said, Kaylee, like, you guys pack up your stuff. The EMS will be here any minute. I've arranged an emergency transfer to this other city, a bigger hospital, and the surgeon there is going to be waiting for you, and you're going to get surgery tonight. And I like want to cry talking about it, but it was the most magical moment, one of the most magical moments of my entire life. Like, I just remember going into shock and being like, what? Like, are you serious? I felt euphoric, to be honest. It was such a magical moment, a wow moment, as I call them. And so many of my friends and family were like, you fell, and then ultimately it led to getting this emergency surgery, right? That you probably wouldn't have gotten, and you probably would still be waiting for who knows how long. I just kept screaming in my head to the universe, to the source, whatever you call it. But I just kept saying, thank you so much. Wow, it worked. And it still blows my mind to this day. And even after I came home and I was looking through my old journal entries of me, you know, manifesting and believing it, and it happened in a way that I never would have imagined. I never ever would have predicted that I would have fallen on ice on my walk. So that just reminds you that we only have so much control, and we're not psychics. We can't predict the future. We can't control or predict how things are going to work out. We just have to let go and surrender and trust that what we keep believing and what we keep putting out there and saying to ourselves and thinking to ourselves, that's going to get us the results that that we're putting out, that we're thinking and feeling. I wanted to share this with you, just, you know, if a little something sparked inside of you where you're like, wow, that's really cool, and you feel inspired or empowered to try and manifest something in your life, or to start practicing attracting more positivity into your life, and noticing, you know, noticing when you're having thoughts and feelings that are fearful and might be putting out negativity, and just recognizing that is bringing yourself back to a place of love and faith and trust and just surrendering. And it's not easy, okay? An analogy I like to use, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, and I kept telling myself it when I was, you know, not knowing when I was getting surgery and I was in pain every day. Anytime I'm struggling or things are hard and I don't know how they're gonna get better or whatever, it's like, okay, I'm in a dark tunnel right now, and it's scary and it's really dark and it's horrible and it's cold, and I don't know how long this tunnel is. I don't know if it's a short tunnel, I don't know if it's a long tunnel, but I know that there's light at the end of it, and I know I'm gonna come out of this tunnel into the bright, sunny world and out into the fresh air again. The universe brought to me what I asked of it. It took my order and it brought me my order. Not even on time, before I had asked. So that is my magical manifestation story, and I feel like there's a lot of things in this video I forgot to talk about in regards to the law of attraction and manifestation. So please let me know in the comments if you have had any sort of experience like that with manifestation, or what you've learned about energy, the law of attraction, all of that. Ask me questions if you want. I'll try my best to answer them. I'm really happy to be doing this and to be on this platform and sharing my experiences and my knowledge and things with you guys, because I want to help empower you to lead happier, healthier, better lives and become better versions of you, because you deserve it. We all deserve it, right? So anyways, I'm wrapping it up. I'm sending you so much love today, and we'll see you in the next one.